in a cleft of the rock. And I will cover thee by my hand while I pass by. So Moses is by this rock. He's in a cleft of the rock. And the Lord's going to pass by. And when he passes by, he's going to put his hand over Moses' eyes so he can't see his face. Because if he sees his face, they do say the face of the Lord in these visions was brighter than the sun in his strength. And the sun in his strength is like midday. If you've ever tried to look at the sun in the midday, you can only look for a second. And looking at the sun would be dangerous. It would burn your eyes out. You can't look at the sun and live. Your eyes would wither if you looked at the sun for too long. And they warn you when they have these eclipses, right? Do not look at the sun. Do not look at the sun. It will burn your eyes out. Well, they get these visions. John the Beloved had a vision of Jesus and his face in the vision. Okay, so he's looking at the face of Jesus in the vision. So it's not the face of Jesus in life. It's a vision. His face was as the sun shineth in his strength. So sun shining in his strength. You're talking about on the summer solstice when it's the sun's at its hottest and closest in its strength. Looking at the sun there, and the difference was John could look at this face of Jesus in the New Testament in a vision, and no doubt it didn't burn his eyes, though it was brighter than the sun. Well, this is Jesus himself and not a vision appearing to Moses. And he said, "Thou canst not see my face, for there shall no man see me and live. So, and it shall come to pass, while my glory passeth by, that I will put thee in a cleft of the rock, and will cover thee with my hand while I pass by." So you picture Jesus passing by by some rocks, not a mountain or whatever it is. Moses is in a cleft of a rock, right? Jesus is about to walk by him, appear to him. Jesus himself appearing to Moses, the Lord himself appearing to Moses here, not an angel. And I will put thee in a cleft of the rock, and will cover thee with my hand while I pass by. And I will take away mine hand, right? And thou shalt see my back part. So as he comes to Moses, you would see him coming, therefore you would see him from the front. Therefore Moses might look at the face of the Lord and die. It's kind of like the burning bush, draw not nigh hither. When Moses saw this fire in the burning bush, he hid his face because he was afraid to look upon God, right? It's kind of a mark of respect. It kind of shows us how powerful it all is, how powerful God is, right? That it's a mark of disrespect to even look upon the face of God. Who are you to look upon the face of God? You're not one with God. Only Jesus is one with God. Only Jesus has seen God, and therefore he declares him, right? Jesus is the one who we approach God through. No man has seen God at any time and lived, right? Only we have to approach God through Jesus. Jesus came in the flesh in the New Testament, so they were able to talk with Jesus face to face. And it came to pass, while my glory passeth by, that I will put thee in a cleft of the rock, and I will cover thee with my hand while I pass by. So you picture Jesus coming towards him. He can't look at him head on, look at his face. And I will take away mine hand, and thou shalt see my back parts, right? So he was allowed to see Jesus from the back and not the front. So he can't look at his face and live. Moses, well, like I say, when he saw Jesus, when he saw an angel, if not Jesus, presence of the Lord, right, in the burning bush, Moses hid his face, it says, for he's afraid to look upon God. And the voice out of the burning bush saying, I am the God of thy fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Draw not nigh hither. Put off thy shoes from off thy feet, for the place whereon thou standest is holy ground. So Moses had to draw back. So you can't look at God and live. And I will take away mine hand, And thou shalt see my back part, see Jesus from behind, but my face shall not be seen. So very, that's really just an account of Moses's, largely Moses's encounters, if you like, with that other dimension, the spirit world, angels, the presence of the Lord, seeing Jesus or not in the Old Testament, and everything else. So it's all very, very powerful stuff. And so to end it there, because that's in itself is a lot to chew on, and all in short, very, very real. And first and foremost, we need to get in the presence of the Lord. And if God sends you an angel of his presence, then we should obey his angels. And in obeying his angels, our enemies will be God's enemies, and we will have protection. So all boils down to the presence of the Lord and the presence of his angels, and our obedience to both God and to both Jesus and the angel whom God sends. So it's not a game. It's a very serious, God's business is a very serious business. And a lot of this wasn't easy for people like Moses and Jeremiah and Ezekiel and all the rest, because they're often dealing with stiff-necked generations, so always needing reassuring. So be reassured by these words that God is with us. Jesus is with us. His angels are with us. They know us. They know us by name. God knows us by name. Jesus knows us by name. These angels know us by name. The name of the Lord is in these angels. The presence of the Lord is in these angels. They've had a rundown of our situation before they came to us. I guess that God would have shown them our situation, and therefore they very much know all about us, and that's so important to know. They very much know all about you, as they do about me, is about all of us. So therefore they have their finger on the pulse. So praise Jesus.